Okay, so I'm going to move on to banner 4. Yes, Shulk's BSB is elemental. Elemental Spear. This banner. Count them. Count them, everybody. 1, 2, 3 chains. 3 chains on this banner. That's a good start. That's a good start. And when the silly little USB that tries to infringe on the chain's territory is just Lightning's USB. Hugh, personally, going over it on the last banner, I would say yes. So, something that MexRage just brings up in chat is an excellent USB in both stat stick and USB itself. That's my first observation I want to make about this banner. Nobody has Kane's chain. Nobody has Snow's chain. So that's going to be 2 wins for just about everybody in the game. Renoa's chain is extremely rare. It only appeared once, ever. So that's going to be a win for just about everybody in the game. Lightning's USB is very powerful. Very, very powerful USB. And even if people have it, because it is a 6-star lightning sword, it is a good thing to have more of. So we've just created a top end of this banner that's desirable to almost everybody. People that wouldn't be interested in this top end. If you already have Renoa's CSB, if you have Shantoto's CSB, I would not, I phrased that wrong. You would be less inclined to like the banner. Not like, it doesn't just shut the banner down if you have one of those. Just that it's one of the few things that can impact it. Shantoto's chain is better than Kane's. And Renoa's CSB is on this banner. Snow's chain is HP stock 2000. Which could use a little help. It's not as bad as Locke's, but it's kind of weird. But it is a nice chain. And this makes another banner where there are 2 chains of the same element on it. So people looking for ice, this is a good place to look. I agree, Negators, because it's tough building a chain with a Dragoon ability, but it's still good. I agree with the words you used. Take full advantage of it. Yes, you want his USB. Okay, so I guess I'll go into them, but it's going to be briefly, because I just want people to be aware of what these things actually do. Kane. Kane as a CSB type that we haven't seen yet. Impulse Drive. 22 single ranged jump attacks, lightning chain plus 20%. So instead of having an additional effect and doing 11 attacks, chain additional effect, it just removes that and adds on 11 more attacks. That's a good thing for a chain because that's 11% more damage added to it. Is it as good as quick cast? No, not by a long shot. You can easily create 11 more attacks through the quick cast 2 provided to the team. But it's still really good. It's one of the better ones, I think. Next up, Snows. I already said it's an ice chain and HP stock 2000 to the entire party. That is, you know, I feel like I'm dishing on it a little bit, but I think adding HP stock 2000 to the party can really create some interesting situations. Like getting a free 2000 heal in, you know, in the middle of the fight opens up your healer to do new things with their ability pool. Like I've noticed in a lot of my Magicite runs that I'm unable to use my healer as much as I'd like because I rely on, you know, healers that provide, you know, buffing and in the future Larsa for his Astra on his Burst Soul Break cast. Then sometimes they can have trouble healing if you don't heal with them enough. But if you're getting a heal from an unexpected source like this, it can actually be kind of useful. So if you build your party around it, this could be effective as a chain thing. It'll never be as good as Quick Cast 2 is. Quick Cast 2 is good for... It's just so freaking good. And moving on to the other ice chain, Renoa's is much better than Snow's. Renoa's chain is add Quick Cast 2 to the entire party. Oh, how does Snow feed his own chain? There is a 5-star monk ability that does ice damage coming out. When? That's a good question. Probably during the next Final Fantasy 13 event. Yeah, I think it is a rush ability. So, will multiplier 20 plus 20% chance to crit. 3rd anniversary? Okay. Anyway, yeah, Renoa's chain is just better. It's one of those Quick Cast 2 variants. What do you do with Snow? I don't know. Hope you have another soul break that you can life siphon out. It really sucks that they didn't give us Snow's Burst Soul Break 2 on this banner. Okay, so that's the chains and Lightning's USB. Can't search for Lightning. Army of 1. Ten single attacks grants attached Lightning, X Blinding, and Quick Cast, High Quick Cast 1 to the user. X Blinding is a high quick cycle. Definitely better than the quick cycles that we went over previously in the festival. X Mode Blinding is a status that gives her plus 30% attack and grants her high quick cast whenever she uses a lightning damaging attack. High quick cast is better than quick cast. High quick cast reduces cast times by 66% instead of 50%. Lightning is a fantastic character with a great Legend Materia relic that gives her 25% chance to dual cast lightning attacks, and one of those awesome characters with the LM2 that allows her to haste and instacast 3 to start the fight. It's just an excellent relic, an excellent USB on an excellent character. So that's our top end. Off to a rip-roaring good start. We slow down a little bit right here, but it is only the Burst Soul Break section. Lenna's Burst Soul Break 2. Tender Mercy. Kiraga Medica and grants minor resist ice to the party and grants haste and burst mode to the user. Minor resist ice is a 10% damage reduction from ice attacks. Her first command is a instant cast Kiraga that gives mine plus 30% to the person it hits. It's instacast, so that's fine. And you're almost always overhealing with the command 1 anyway, so... and then a regular Medica command 2. The minor resist is the only reason she's on the banner, yeah. Which is actually kind of weird, because why would you put minor ice resist on a banner with ice relics? Because, you know, they're meant for different teams. Lenna actually works on a fire team. Because it's the ice bosses that that are vulnerable to fire. It does turn Lenna into a good healer, where she's had difficulty with that in the past. So there's that. Next up, we have doozy. We have USB number 5, or 6-star number 5. Squall's Burst Soul Break 2. Yes, it is Negators. I believe it is the only healing relic on the entire festival. Squall's Burst Soul Break 2 is Squall's USB. Steely Blade. Single target damage, grants haste, attach ice, and burst mode to the user. Nothing weird going on yet. Have a good night, Strider. Steely Blade's commands. First command, Draw Injunction, is a 0.8 multiplier, spread over 2 attacks. Pretty lame, right? Well, here's the thing. Low and Roar, his second command, says 2.16, but that's only at its lowest form. It does 4, 5, 6, or 7 single attacks, with an increasing multiplier on every step, scaling with Draw Injunction uses. For a +0, +5, +10, or +25% critical chance, scaling with the Draw Injunction uses. So that is a very weak command 1. The question is, does using Draw Injunction, his command 1, enough times to make command 2 very powerful, does that make it worth using that weak command 1? The answer is a resounding yes. It's a 7 attack hit, or a 7 hit attack, with a 7, 8.75 multiplier. That's higher than Soul Breaks. He has Attach Ice on him at the same time, and a 25% chance to crit. Plus 25%, so that will stack with a crit fixer like Onion Knight's USB 2. The kicker here is that Squall has a LM2 that gives him a 35% chance to dual cast Spellblade abilities. These are Spellblade abilities. And when you dual cast his Command 1, it counts twice towards stacking Drawing Junkin uses. So that may only be one turn that you get up to 2 uses. And then it counts for when you use this Soul Break in the form of a command. You can also dual cast that as well. This is one of the most powerful Burst Soul Breaks in the entire game. And it like extends the value of the banner, because this is powerful enough to talk with those guys. He's at the big kids' lunch table. So not only does this banner have the most expansive top end in the entire festival, it's all good. Next, ETA. We've already talked about Edea's Burst Soul Break because she is the last member of the Mage Triumvirate. Just like Papalymo and Materia before her, ETA has an excellent Burst Soul Break that gives her a 6-hit first command if it is needed, and a Magic Bargain second command. How does the commands work between Burst Soul Break casts? It resets. Well, that Max Rage, if Fenrir will dodge or blink dodge some of his command 2, that's what Snow's for. Just have him like basic attack or something, and get the timings down and make him eat the physical blinks. Oh yeah, burst mode lasts 15 seconds. Squall's powerful enough that he's probably going to kill everything but within those 15 seconds. That's how powerful that burst is. I mean, with help, sure. Probably can't do it by himself unless he's using Cloud's USB's RW, and then we get into some real crazy numbers. Yeah, exactly, Negators. That's how I used Onion Knight as well. When I tried Fenrir with a physical team. Yeah, ETA does have to meet a high magic threshold to get her 6-hit command, but she has an advantage over the other two, where she can use Memento Mori to buff her magic by 30%. Materia and Papalymo both have to... Their only way to do that would be with Faith, which is a 20% magic buff. So ETA's Burst Soul Break is good. It's very good. Dash's Burst Soul Break is aged, but still effective. It's a very similar burst to the Triumvirate, where he has a Magic Bargain second command. But his first command gets added value by giving him Quick Cast after every time he uses it. So even though it is a weaker 4-hit command, the Quick Cast changes a lot of things about the amount of damage that it does. I personally use Dash's Burst Soul Break in my Bismarck fight, my sub-30 Bismarck, and it is a successful sub-30. I definitely would like to replace it with something, but at least it is valuable in the current game, but probably not in the future. Next up, we have an interesting addition in Shulk's Burst Soul Break. It's pretty weird. Pretty weird. This is a weird banner. We've got Lenna's healing burst, and we have Shulk's support burst. And boy, am I glad that I legend dive Shulk before this banner. Now I can get the thing that makes her really good. Synaptic Net Dive. Instant cast. And, you know, if this wasn't a pentabreak, which makes it kind of derpy in Magicite, this is actually a really good burst. An instant cast pentabreak with fast cast debuffing commands. That's good. It's a good burst. But Magicite being what it is, debuffs being what they are, it's definitely not something you're going to use with Shulk very often if you've legend dived her. But it's still decent outside of Magicite, and outside Magicite still, you know, is impactful on the game. Crystal Tower does exist. D260 will eventually exist. So, I don't know. I'm not going to talk it up too much. I'm personally just happy that this is here, because it feels weird to have a Legend Dive character with no relics at all. But what is nice about this relic is that it's a plus lightning spear. So even if you don't see any benefit in the debuffing burst itself, it's still good. Still good to pick up. Loki, thank you very much. All right. Next up, Enkidler from Lightning. You know, a lot of people dish on this because it's been around about as much as Alphino's Burst Soul Break has, but it's actually a really good burst. It's very similar to Zax's, except only slightly slower. It's Imperil and has ninja cast time commands. It's just a really good burst. Imperil bursts are still, you know, can be fairly decent. I don't have it. I would want it. Probably not a big hit for a lot of people on this banner, but yeah, it's all right. Next up is probably a miss. Renoa's Crystal Cross is just a bad attach ice burst. She has a self buff on one of her commands, but the self buff doesn't do any damage, and I always hate those. Because you're buffing yourself to do more damage, right? But you're sacrificing damage to get there. With a lot of commands like Adia and Papalymo and Maria's second command, you are sacrificing damage because you're using a poor multiplier area of effect command to give yourself that magic bargain buff. But at least it does 20,000 damage. Renoa's does not. I agree with Will that Renoa's BSB2 is pretty much just plus 10 magic. If you're using Renoa with her CSB or her USB, both of them, you're using her with Chain Blizzaga. And forget about using her Burst Soul Break too. And next up, we have our meme. We found the meme of the festival, Kane's Burst Soul Break. When did this come out? It has to be autumn 2016. It's over a year old. It may be even more. OmniSlash, thank you very much for the subscription. It's not a good burst. because it's so old that it only has 4 hits on the entry, and they're 4 area of effect hits. So it's a 4 multiplier. Not going to do a whole lot. What it does is it enables him to use Lightning Dive with and Lightning active for the increased 50% damage. So it's got that going for it. I don't know. It's not good, but like Shulk's, it has an outside benefit, and that the spear itself is plus lightning damage. So that's nice. Oh, sorry. All right. So burst soul break section. I secretly love the Bell's Lance. You know, I have beaten some submissions with it, so I'm not like, I've not completely abandoned it. What do I think about this burst soul break section? I like it. There's some decent stuff. There's some elemental relics. There's some good stuff, and then there's a USB hiding in here. Wolf in sheep's clothing. It's the only banner that can lay claim to that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So LMR section is weird. It's really weird. We'll start with Squalls. Lion Gloves. It's not elemental, but it does give allow him to start off the fight with an ice, which is a really good thing for him. Squall has access to a little thing called Spellblade 6, which is very interesting now because they increase the amount of soul break generation that abilities grant, which puts 6-star abilities really high on their ability to generate soul break points. Snow Spell Strike, the 6-star Spellblade, generates 80 or 120 soul break points when it exploits weakness. In comparison, Life Siphon generates 150. So what is the difference between him advancing to his burst versus him advancing to his burst with Life Siphon versus him advancing to his burst with Snow Spell Strike? Well, you generate a little less soul break with Snow Spell Strike, but you can dual cast Snow Spell Strike. And Snow Spell Strike has a 4.4 multiplier compared to Life Siphon's 1.8. So 4.4 with the End Ice granted to him at the beginning of the battle if you have his LMR moves up to a 6.6 multiplier over 4 hits to Life Siphon's 1.8 over 1. That you can dual cast for the huge game-breaking cost of 30 soul break points per cast. Squall's LMR is one of the better ones for that reason, because there aren't many people in the game that have access to a 6-star ability as disgusting as Snow Spell Strike. Snow Spell Strike becomes Squall's Life Siphon. Even without the LMR. It's still good to use as your Life Siphon with him. With the LMR, it's like he has a chance to dual cast a soul break every turn. For his Life Siphon. It's really... Ugh. Ugh. Last, Shantoto's LMR is weird. I see a Shantoto coat, but I don't see a Shantoto. I was pretty certain that this was going to appear in the festival because it debuted in the Superfest for Japan, but it's out of this world that this appeared here without any of her relics. Well, anyway, if you already have Shantoto's Chain Soul Break or Shantoto's USB, you're probably in the market for her LMR. Her LMR is exactly the same as Bart's. She has a 10% chance to grant herself 2 extra attacks. Or to triple cast. Which is pretty cool for a character that is as powerful as Shantoto. You know, what with her using witch abilities or Chain Thundagas. And ability doubling and, you know, whatever it is that Shantoto does. Potato things. Hashtag. Yeah, it's just an excellent LMR for her. And she is one of the best lightning characters in the game, so that's a hell of a match. And would be even better, much more better of a match if, you know, any of her things, even her burst, was on this banner. Well, not only triple cast, Shantoto's USB gives her ability double witch, so she can ability double out witch. So that's 1 extra cast, and then she can triple cast with her LMR for 2 more. So yeah, that's 24 chain hits. Just potato things. Oh yeah, and her trance mode's probably active, so she's doing that at ×3 cast speed. Shantoto's kind of busted. Which, you know, like, talking about it makes me understand why they would want to separate those pieces, you know? It's like, because when they're all combined, it's what Mumuni says. It's so bright. All right, so as you can tell, I'm probably giddy about this banner, and yeah, I am. I visibly had a lot of difficulty with Bismarck. Bismarck was my last sub 30. A sub 30 Bismarck with my best lightning relics being Ash's BSB and Desh's BSB by the skin of my teeth, thanks to Shulk and her legend dive. I need lightning stuff because I want to do well in the future against 4-star Magicite and anything lightning based. I need lightning stuff. And, you know, I could really use some stuff to soup up my ice team as well. This banner was like made for me. This banner's made for me. So that's my disclaimer, is I'm compromised. I'm gonna try talking about this banner in an unbiased way, but it's not gonna work. So just keep that in mind. Unbiased things. I stated the initial case is that Cane Chain, and Snow's Chain, nobody has. Renoa's Chain is super rare. Barely anyone has it. And Lightning's USB is something that people want even if they already have it. On top of the fact that Squall snuck on here with his Bristle Break too, to create an even better top end. Makes this, in my opinion, like, yeah, just really good for a lot of people. This is the kind of banner where you see it and you hope that you're in need of ice. You're good on other elements, but you're in need of ice and lightning. Because this is a great place to get that stuff. Thank you, OmniSlash. I hope so too.
Are you drunk?
Thank you, Jimbo.
Not drunk enough.
바나 4ダウン 샤프 차리티.
Jowlin, you can try. But I'm not even that opposed to using snow. I mean, I hate the character. I don't even like him in Record Keeper. I think he's weird. He's a knight that does ice things. He doesn't even have an ice ability yet. I really just don't like him. But the chain is just, it's so good. So I'll field some stuff in chat for a couple. I'm gonna lose my voice after tonight. If your one dupe is Renoa's Burst Soul Break, it's already a miss. Dupe or not. Yeah, this, right. Jellum brings up a good observation, is that this banner is on New Year's Eve, and I will be pulling as soon as it becomes active, so get ready for a party. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a sad party. Though it'd be really difficult with this one. Well, I will be uploading these as well. I'll probably be creating a page on my website with a brief summary for each banner plus the videos. Okay, so we've